You are listening to I Am Refocused Radio with your host, Shamaya Reed. This show is designed to inspire you to live your purpose and regain your focus. And now, here's your host, Shamaya Reed.
Hey, welcome to I Am Refocused Radio. We are here once again, and today, man, just like every single day, man, we have an awesome guest on the show, and I like saying exclusive because it is. We have an amazing, man, I don't even know how to begin because her bio is so, intense. It's so many accomplishments, so many great things happening in our today's guest. We have a music artist, a business professional, maybe actress, actor, everything. I mean, the whole 9 yards. We have Devon Mathews. She is a professional actress, vocalist, and performing arts teacher here in San Antonio, Texas. And I just want to say, put a seatbelt on because she's going to talk about, I'm going to let her be doing the talking. She's going to tell us about herself because since the age of 7, she's been performing professionally. So That's crazy. Since the age of 7, I don't even know what I was doing at the age of 7. I was probably eating breakfast tacos. So without further ado, I just want to welcome Miss Devon Mathews to the show. And how are you doing today?
I'm doing well. I'm blessed. I'm so excited to be here today. Thank you to I Am Refocused Radio for having me. I'm excited to be here.
It's a true honor because, like I said, your bio, I can't even do it justice because I almost had to take a nap after I read it yesterday. Because
it's all
that's
true.
A great thing because you have accomplished so much and you're doing some big things, all caps, big things today. And before we get into those things, tell the audience a little bit about you, man.
Yes, of course. Well, I am born and raised here in San Antonio, Texas. I'm a proud product of San Antonio's East Side, and I grew up at Mount Sinai Baptist Church under Reverend L.H. Mills. And it was at church where I first held a mic, first got my start from Easter speeches to singing. And once it was discovered that I had a gift, I began leading songs. And leading songs not only for the youth choir, but for the adult choir, and just flourished. Always just, my mother just made sure I was always at church, and I fell in love with music and worship, and it just developed and it just grew as I was going to school. And I was doing school plays in elementary, and my mom was like, "Wait a minute, you have something going on." So she put me in classes. I remember at the Carver Cultural Center. And I remember being on my way to my class with Miss Adorn Ruffin. She was my first theater teacher. She's amazing. And I remember being stopped, my mom and I being stopped, because the people that were on stage building the set was they were looking and staring, and it kind of made me feel uncomfortable. And then they came back and they stopped and they said, we have a 2-week run here, and we need a little girl. It's school nights and everything. But that was my first professional and paid right there. So I've literally been performing on the Carver stage over 30 years.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Here in San Antonio. That led into, of course, youth choirs and community choirs, gospel choirs, the San Antonio Youth Ensemble, just doing things in my community. My mother kept me very, very busy. I did a lot of shows. I danced. I was just all around artistic. All around, just always just loving everything about art, writing poems and things like that. College, same thing. And that's when I focused more on music theater performance at Texas State University, Eat 'em Up Cats, and just really developing the professional part of it. Because I'm not going to lie, I didn't take the dance classes like most people do, like the ballet and everything from 3 years old. God gave me those gifts. It was natural for me. I could literally watch someone else do a bunch of pirouettes and turns, and then I could do it. So I kind of skated my way through. Even with sheet music, they would give us sheet music, and I know some, but I was listening by ear. So as long as I hear the people on my right and left doing it, then when they got to me, I could do it too. So I kind of just skated my way with my gift, through it. And I'm just so blessed for the opportunities that I've had thus far. Just still learning and growing. And that's what this interview, that's what I want this really to be about. I thought that I had done everything, and then here this comes, so.
I mean, you say you skated your way, but if it was me or someone else skating, I don't think it'd be as good. So, I mean, first and foremost, there's some more things in your bio. There's just amazing things that you are also known as DevSoul.
Yes, from the band.
A band that I met a while back on Reverb Nation, Small World, and now we here. Start from the bottom, now we here. Right. But I don't think you ever started at the bottom though. I think you was at the middle. And
thank you. I was at the middle
because you talking about skating. I think you were rollerblading.
I wish I could
going
rollerblade.
20 miles per hour in the neighborhood.
Right.
Because when it comes to your band, y'all have opened up for amazing artists, big artists, R&B greats, and I don't even want to drop names because if I miss one, I might get in trouble.
No, you won't get in trouble. But no, the opportunities that have been afforded to me just here in this city have just been amazing. There are some amazing promoters and amazing people who support and back you and book you. Kirk Fraser being one, K-Rock with Concepts After Dark. He's been like a lifeline for me since I started, always supporting and booking me every chance he could. So many others that stick with you. And I've worked with a lot of these people for so many years, and to delve into something new. After being stagnant with COVID, you sit there and you're like, well, what can I do with my art? Like, what can I do? I wasn't really gigging. I told you, I made the decision to stop doing clubs and bars myself, and just choosing when I wanted to perform, what I wanted to perform, and with the strong support of my husband, James Mathews. He's just behind me. He's like my number one fan. Whatever I want to do, he's my security, my manager, my protector, my everything. So whatever I'm comfortable doing in respect of performing, he's like right there with me. So shout out to my hubby. I love him a lot. He's great. So the city as a whole, San Antonio, has so much talent, so much untapped talent. And that's the one thing to everyone who's listening, wherever you are, far and wide. You definitely should tap into the city. And not just to me. There's just like amazing talent here that has gone unnoticed. And so I feel like it's not a job, but I feel like I need to represent my city the best way I can artistically so that people do know, hey, the arts are alive and well in San Antonio and in Black San Antonio and in the Christian part of San, all these things. And San Antonio is just not a city like Los Angeles, Chicago, Atlanta. People don't think, oh, I want to make it. I want to do music and I want to act and be on TV. Let's move to San Antonio. They don't look at us that way. But I want to change that. I want to change that and let people know that, hey, there are people here who studied and who know, because I'm classically trained. Like, I know a lot of things, I'm not just someone that used my gifts. As I matured, I learned that, okay, yes, you have the gift, but you need to learn, and you need to read, and you need to study and go to school. So that's what I did.
And once again, talking to Devon Mathews, and I told you need a seatbelt on because we're not even touching the surface of all the stuff she's been able to do. I want to say a quick thing about San Antonio.
Absolutely.
I have to say this. I was not raised in this city.
Really? I didn't know that.
But I was born in this city.
Okay.
I grew up most of my life in Michigan. But I'm going to say this.
I didn't know that.
My first 8 years in San Antonio was amazing because what you just said about San Antonio being a special place. San Antonio compared to New York and LA and other great cities, I'm going to put all caps, great cities because I don't want to be offended. San Antonio doesn't need a hype. That's what makes us different.
That's a good point.
We are a family city.
We are.
And we are a very diverse city, and we don't always get the respect that we deserve, but that's okay.
Right. Because, on any level. Yeah. On any level. Even with the Spurs. The Spurs, people had so much to say about how Pop did the Spurs. But that to me is the pinnacle of San Antonio. Like that right there.
We don't need the hype, man.
The class and the unspoken, the no arrogance, no cockiness, just get out there and do it. That's the same attitude I have. I just jump in, head first. sometimes.
San Antonio doesn't need the hype, man, because we already are the hype.
Right.
Boom. There you go.
San Antonio, guys. I'm telling you, it's the move. So shout out to my city.
Now that we got that amazing commercial done for the city, Devon Mathews. I mean, I told you just warming up. She has made appearances on television. Yes, you heard that correct. I mean, we're talking about HBO. We're talking about ABC. And tell us, man, what were those amazing projects that you were a part of? And
Absolutely.
How in the world, someone from San Antonio, how in the world did you able to accomplish that?
Well, it was, and this is an homage to my current show. It was a leap of faith. I saw a posting on Facebook for extras and actors for Brock Allen Casting out of Austin, Texas. And they were shooting in some surrounding cities and things. And I was like, it's been a while since I've done that. I consider myself more a music theater type actor first. Live stage performance, in your face, live band, like I'm alive. I like to be like right there so you can feel the emotion that I'm bringing. But I was like, I need to really get my feet wet in TV film. And I was like, they probably won't cast me. So I sent my headshots, I sent my resume and things. And I got an email. It said, hey, they didn't tell me the project. You don't find all that out initially. We're looking for, people of all ethnicities, to come. We're shooting in Luling. And then one was like in Lockhart. And that's like a quiet as kept. These little towns around San Antonio. Yeah. You guys, they are shooting shows and movies and TV, and you don't even know. You don't even know what they're doing. Like, and because I can imagine the price, the price point. Yeah. If you're shooting in little old Seguin, Luling, and dressing the set and turning it into what you need versus Los Angeles, New York.
Yeah.
But I want to say that I was blessed to work on those two special projects, American Crime on ABC, which was a limited series that won several awards. John Ridley, Regina King from 227. Regina King.
That's not major.
A thin line between love and hate. And I was just so in awe of her. I'll be like walking on breaks and stuff because, being an extra for me, because I was too afraid to submit, which that's going to change for speaking roles because I didn't feel like I was ready then. Walking around and she's just like sitting there drinking her water and drinking on her phone. And I'm just like, get it together. Like, slap myself, okay. And I went up to her and I said, may I speak? I don't just walk up to, famous people and start talking, because some of them are not polite.
Exactly.
And, man, Regina King, she'll never know how she affected me. She was so personable, so polite. And here I am. I never had any lines with her. But the thing that was so special about the extra work I did for American Crime and for The Leftovers, they both starred her. Like John Ridley, they knew the talent. They knew what she brings. And so just to have that on my resume, just to be in the same space with her and to watch her work and to meet so many people on those sets. Look at how, I'm sitting there and they're feeding us lunch. It's all this elaborate catering, but I'm looking around at the production people like, what's they doing? What are they touching? I'm looking at the everything, the camera crew, the riggers. I'm watching everything because I want to absorb and learn. And now I feel like I'm in a lot better place to maybe put myself out there. I do want to take some more classes because that's the one thing. You can never stop learning. I don't think that my resume is complete. You never know what God has for you. I want to keep going and pushing the envelope. So I want to get myself back in some student seats and then maybe start pursuing speaking roles and self-taping and doing my own shorts and features and movies and things for San Antonio. So,
man, if y'all are like, man, forget the seatbelt. Let's just park the car because at this point, I'm telling you what is happening with Devon Mathews is special. I mean, I'm almost in shock because you don't hear stuff like this in San Antonio.
No,
let's just be real.
No,
on the east side,
and I don't just sit up and just post all this stuff.
Exactly,
that I've done.
And this is like breaking news almost because I mean, seriously, you represent San Antonio on the east side. That is special.
All day.
That
every
is
day.
special. Like,
all day.
If you're from the east side right now and you're hearing this show, I'm Focus Radio, talking to Devon Mathews, I want you to really put the student hat on right now. Because she talked about being a student, but now I want the listening audience to become a student, because I'm going to ask her to spill the secret sauce of how she's been able to have this kind of successful career, because you touched on some things that I want to dive deeper into.
Okay.
And one thing in particular is when you said when you was on set, you looked at everything.
Everything.
That's interesting, because
I was watching everyone.
Because plans are as good as their details. So dive into that with the audience. Why is it so important to you personally to make sure that you take your time to absorb things around you?
I think, and that's a great question. I think that I consider myself a human sponge, for one, an emotional sponge. And it's a gift and a curse, because I call myself an empath, but I'm an extrovert. So there's a contradiction there.
Some days I am, some days I'm not.
Yes, I'm outgoing and everything, and I'm not too shy around people, but I can be, but I'm always thinking. My mother always taught me to use my head. She always taught me to think and not be so physical, but to use my mind. She's like, your mind is your most powerful thing. And my mother is highly, highly intelligent. And she would always tell me to think. And sometimes it's better to be quiet and just look around and see, how can you advance yourself? What makes you different? She was like my number one cheerleader growing up. At everything, she had the shirts with my picture on it. She was riding the bus. She was like in the audience, like always there. And she said, learn when you go on these jobs, and when you get I don't care if the role, you don't even say anything. They don't see your face. Make your presence known. I went up to John Ridley. I shook his hand. I talked to him. I told him who I was and where I was from. And one day you're going to see me again. That is important. That is important. Don't just take your opportunities at face value. Every opportunity is a seed. Plant that seed. Every opportunity. That's not your end point. That's something I want to stress to everyone listening. Every opportunity that you have, regardless of your age, and I don't care if you're 80 years old and you're listening to me and you always want to be an actor or you always want to be a singer, it's not over for you. The book is not closed yet. Plant that seed, and you have to nurture the seed. You have to nurture it. Now, if you plant the seed and you just are stagnant and you don't water it, you don't give it any sunshine, and you don't fertilize it, how are you going to grow? You got to always keep moving. And I'm preaching to myself here because
you dropping bars, man.
I'm preaching to myself here because, COVID impacted especially artists, people who were used to being around people, being social. Radio, TV, film, music, it affected us all in such a way. And so that's why I'm so grateful to the app, because it just opened up literally the entire world to me. So
in the app that you're talking about, and once again, I'm Focus Radio talking to Devon Mathews, the app that you're talking about is Clubhouse.
Clubhouse changed the game.
I know that you're experienced media, because that was like a perfect segue into this next topic.
I am.
And that is, you're part of an amazing production of Disney's The Princess and the Frog.
Yay.
First of all, wow. Once again, representing San Antonio from the east side. Stand up, man. Devon Mathews, how in the world? I mean, now you're working with Disney.
Firstly, let me clarify that Clubhouse, if you're not familiar with the app, I can't even put it into words. It literally just allows you to connect with people all around the world. You thought Twitter or Facebook or Instagram let you connect with hashtags or with adding one another. You don't have to do any of that. You can follow people, but you put in your interests, and literally where you are and like everything that you like, the people just pop up in the rooms. And you learn how to go into rooms and just start talking. Where are you from? I'm from Africa. I'm from London. I'm from Ireland. And I've met and made connections with people all around the world, firstly. Secondly, when I started seeing shows going up and auditions, I mean, I started auditioning for everything because you had to be creative during COVID. And I think Clubhouse, I don't know if they planned to come out when they did, but shout out to them because it just changed the game. So I saw auditions for several shows. I mean, I've auditioned for probably 15 different things, and I didn't get casted in a lot of those. Because you have to remember, a lot of the people that are casting these shows are actually from real Broadway. These are people who were on the Lion King tour. They are really in Los Angeles. They really work for HBO. Mm-hmm. They really are casting current shows that you're watching on TV now. And you're in these rooms with these people. Like I've been in a room with like Brandy's mom, Sonia Norwood, wow. Antoine Fisher the other night. Wow. And they just talk to you and just give you feedback. Miss Josie Thacker, Respect for Acting Lab. She's awesome on there. Like, I'm getting in with them. Man, I want to take her classes. It's just so many different people and so many different things. So to fast forward to that, I did Suge, Hustle and Flow. I did that on it. That was so much fun. And then I produced and directed my version of For Colored Girls Who've Considered Suicide When the Rainbow Is Enough. We did a 3-week trilogy. Amazing. Just so amazing. My take on it, my spin on it. It was just awesome. And a lot of people are asking for us to do it again. We'll see, because it is emotionally heavy. So with doing that, I guess my name kind of started floating around, and I started getting messages. Hey, have you heard about this show and this show? They're auditioning. They need a voice. They need a director or whatever. So when I found out about Princess and the Frog, I was like, I've never, and this is the bomb right here. I can do all kinds of voices and impersonations. And so can my husband. But we play around. I've never, ever tapped into voiceover work, ever. I've done radio. I've done all kind of projects, singing, recording, acting, dancing, whatever you could think of. But that wasn't it. So I was like, how am I going to audition for a cartoon? What am I going to do? What am I going to go for? And then I thought about The Princess and the Frog, and I was like, okay, what characters could I do? And I was like, I could do Charlotte. She's giddy. I could do Ray the Firefly. So I was like, let me go for Mama Odie. And it was, I don't mean to laugh at myself, but I didn't know what that was going to sound like. And if you've seen the show, she has this raspy, auntie, grandmotherly sound. And the character is voiced by the amazing and legendary Jennifer Lewis. And Jennifer Lewis, y'all know, she's the black mother of Hollywood. And she did this voice. I didn't even know who it was. I had to look it up. And so I was like, okay, I don't want to sound exactly like her, but I want to give it that voice. And when they called my name on the audition, okay, we have Devon Mathews. She's going to come up and she's auditioning for Mama Odie. All right, take it away. As soon as I came in, we called it on stage on Clubhouse, when I came up to speak, I immediately went into character. I was like, what can I do differently immediately to separate me from everybody else, all the other hundreds of people auditioning for this part? So the producers, everybody, they just cracked up laughing. They were in shock. They didn't know what to say. Because they were like, Devon, what are you auditioning for? And I was like, yeah, baby, I'm going to audition for Mama Odie now, baby. Oh, yeah. How y'all doing? And they were just like,
yo.
They just went... You have me blushing in here because that voice.
Wait, hold up, time out. I know we on radio right now, but man, I thought someone else came in the room. Wow.
I don't even know how it came out. It just came out. So I ran with it because everybody's like, yes, my name is such and such, and I'm auditioning for Mama Odie. And they were like, okay, and I was like, no, I got to come out the gate differently. Immediately, how can I separate myself right now? Do I want the role or not?
That was smart.
And for like the first literally 5 or 6 minutes, I didn't even audition. I was just talking. They would just ask me, what did you eat today? Oh, baby, I had me some gumbo, yeah. Oh, baby, I had me some fried fish and shrimp, baby. And I went on down to the bayou, and it just went into this whole orbit. Like, it just went left.
Wow.
And then I finally got to sing and dance and dance like that's a COVID Freudian slip, thinking you're in a live audition. But I got to sing and talk and everything. And then I was so nervous. I mean, I was sick to my stomach. I was shaking. I was nervous. My husband was like, girl, what's wrong with you? Calm down. I'm like, I really want to do this. That was a lot of fun. I've never done this before. And I did not tell production or the directors that I'd never done voiceover work. I didn't say anything. I just like, Lord, if you want me to try something new, I'll try something new. Let me do it. Let's get out there and see what happens. And so, like, right at the last minute, I heard that everybody was getting emails, they were getting called back, but I didn't get called back. And I was just like, oh, I remember that feeling. When you're an actor and a singer and you don't get a role, it can hurt you, the rejection, but you have to grow and know that it's not personal. Let it fall off your back. What can I do differently the next time? So I finally, at the last minute, the director contacted me himself and was like, do I have your information? And I saw the email. I was like, I sent in everything. I don't have your paperwork. That was what was so odd. All of my stuff, he didn't get to see. I don't know what happened, but he found me. He sought me. And he was like, send me your email address. And he sent me an email and said, I'd like to call you back. Did the callbacks, did the same thing. But this time I was nervous. So when they called me up, I didn't go into the voice. I was just like, hello, I'm Devon Mathews. I'm here to audition for Mama Odie. And so I could hear the tickle in their voice that they wanted me to do it. And so they're like, Mama Odie, are you there? So I just went all the way into it, and I got an email a few days later offering me the role.
Wow.
So I was like just over the moon because, again, still no one knew that I'd never done voiceover or cartoon work till like last week. And we're like halfway. The show's in like 2 weeks.
Wow.
The show is in 2 weeks. So
at this point, we're not in the car. We just walk on the sidewalk because San Antonio, East Side, that's major. I mean, that's major because people don't even understand this is just the beginning. You are going to be having a lot of more interviews to do. So I hope you drink a lot of water because
yes.
I don't think this is a seed that was planted and it hasn't even come out the ground yet. Like, I think the roots are still going deeper.
Right.
So when it comes, because I can't believe it, time is almost like up already. But when it comes to everything you're doing, because we didn't do justice to your bio, when it comes to everything you're doing and things that are happening in the future, what excites you the most when you see what is happening with your careers? Because careers, not career, because you're in like 10,000 different things.
Right.
And you have a business, right?
Yes, I own a home bakery. I work. Yes, I don't, concealer.
She take naps, man.
Yes, I do own Soul Butter Bakery Co. I do own a home bakery, and my husband is my drummer. It's like a family affair. He's a drummer. He's a barber. He works. We just do all these things. We're both artistic and creative. He's just a little bit more reserved than I am, So, but I just want to say that almost makes me teary-eyed to think, I feel like I have a responsibility to my city, to my community, to my people, to women, to children, to ambassadors of Christ, to everyone. And I developed this mantra that I say to myself, I don't want to leave this earth with all of my art still inside of me. What a disservice we are. And I'm speaking to whomever is listening to this. And I mean this very seriously. You have that burning fire inside of you to do something. And you're an artist and you are, and you're stuck in that job and you're stuck in whatever that it is that you're doing repeatedly and robotically over and over again, but it's not bringing you joy. Don't leave the earth without leaving your music, your legacy, your art, your words behind. This, I might leave out of here and I may not make it to my car. I may not even make it home, but I want people to take that with them. Whatever it is, get out there and do it. That's for me too. I'm speaking to myself. Get up and let's do it. I never knew I'd do a cartoon. I never knew I'd do a voiceover in my life. Like, that was not on my radar at all. And I just want to clarify that the show is being produced by the amazing Allen and Gray Musicals in New York City. We are doing the Disney version of Princess and the Frog, but I'm not affiliated with Disney themselves. So they're the ones who did it. They're reimagining it. The show goes up Juneteenth weekend. Juneteenth weekend. And you guys, everyone can get on Clubhouse now. You just have to have an invitation. Find somebody who's on it to send. I have at least 10. So if anybody wants to get on Clubhouse and they want to hear it, please let me know. They're taking Androids now. They're taking the iPhone as well, but you just still have to have an invitation. June 18th Friday, June 18th, the green cast that I'm in, we go up at 7 p.m. Central. Saturday, June 19th, on Juneteenth, we go up at 2 p.m. Central. So Friday and Saturday, the 18th and 19th, 7 and 2. So please tune in. But big shout out to Alan and Gray, to Richard and Taryn. I mean, these are some amazing producers, you guys. My cast, you think that my Mama Odie voice is something. My Mama Odie voice is in comparison to the talent, the singers and the voices that are lending themselves to this production for the children in our community for Juneteenth. It's amazing. So thank you so much. I'm so blessed to be here. And I hope that someone heard something today that resonates with them. And that's important for me, that they don't leave listening to this interview empty. I hope I filled you up.
Once again, I am Refocus Radio talking to Devon Mathews. And man, I mean, where can we even go from here, except that you might want to follow her on social media. So I'm not going to say nothing else but say, how can people follow you on social media?
Absolutely. I'm on most platforms, even though some of them I don't know how to work. But I'm on Facebook at Devon, Devon Mathews, 1T. And I am on Instagram at Mrs. Devon Mathews. Same thing, Devon Mathews, 1T. I'm on Twitter, I think about the same handle. I mean, if you find me on one thing, you'll find me on everything. Soul Butter Bakery Co. Please go like my page. DevSoul, DevSoul. Please go like my page. San Antonio Black Dramatic Arts Society. Go like that page. I mean, you can find me. I'm not hard to find. And I also teach. You know, I teach performing arts and I teach the youth. I teach my little praise dancers. I mean, the arts are so important, you guys. Dig in this summer. Don't let your kids be idle. Take the electronics out of their hands and take them to an acting camp or have them sing. Call me. I'll Zoom them. I'll do lessons. But please have your kids and be invested in the arts as you do in athletics and everything else. It's important for them to learn the arts. And that's all I have to say today. Thank you, God, for everything. I'm so blessed.
Once again, talking to Devon Mathews, and man, right here on I Am Refocus Radio, I said it was an exclusive in the beginning of the show. I called it, and boom, it is exactly an exclusive. We're going to have her on again in the future because I think she's either going to have some more books out or she's going to be, doing some collab with, I won't drop names for legal purposes, but she might be dropping names with other people. But I just want to say,
maybe I can do something. I told you, I want to talk because the vision to do things to represent our city is I'm there, and like you and your mom. Shout out to your mom too, Mrs. Reed. She's awesome. So yeah, I'm ready when you are. Let's do it. Why wait now? The pandemic is coming down. It's going away. Hopefully it'll be away soon, and we can just really pump up our city. That's what I think I'm here for, to help put our city on the map. And you're doing this. Shout out to you.
I appreciate it.
Shout out to you. You're on iHeart, all of the connectors and sister stations and things. I don't even know half the places I'm going to be broadcasting. Yeah. So shout out to you one time.
I appreciate that, man. I mean, you know,
we gotta support each other,
I appreciate that. I must say this for our listeners. Dream big. Because it ain't about me, man. I have the honor to talk to great people who are doing great things. And that's the difference. And someone told me this morning in one of my interviews that it was an honor to be on my show.
It is.
But here's the catch. It was an honor for me to have the story. Wow. Because without the stories, there's no I Am Refocus radio programs. There's nothing. It's just nothing. Because if I did anything outside of tell people stories, I would have nothing.
Right.
Period.
You have a point.
Your platform is bigger than you. Your platform is to inspire people to be the best that they can possibly be in their lifetime. Military personnel told me it is not the day you're born or the day you die that is important. He said what is important is the dash in between. He shared that with me. I never heard that. And he said it in such a way that made me focus on doing one thing only.
Wow.
And that is getting people a chance to tell their story. And if it changes one person's life, with someone who listens to this episode, I don't even know why I'm going here, but if someone who listens to this episode decides Today, I dream big. Today, I take my head out of the ground, out of the sand, and I actually go after my dream. Because guess what? Your dream, there's nothing wrong having a dream.
Right.
It's only wrong if it's all about you.
Right.
If your dream is to help inspire people,
right.
Your dream is basically, it's going to ignite flames throughout the world.
Yes.
And if you use your dream,
that's awesome.
If you use your dream to ignite different flames all around the world, you'll be surprised what doors will open for you, because sometimes God will allow you to walk through certain doors that no one else is supposed to walk through.
I can't believe I'm in rehearsals and I am like in awe. Like, I still can't believe I'm there, even though it's audio. Can you imagine if we were able to be on stage together, the magic that would happen? You know, when you wish upon a star, like that's the whole Disney line. Like, I don't know what my future holds. I don't know what's going to happen, but I know that this is new and I'm going to run with it. So I'm so grateful and honored to be here to share my story. I hope that it does inspire and ignite anyone that is listening. Please reach out to me. I respond to everyone. I don't consider myself any kind of star at all. Like, I'm someone with a gift and a purpose, because every role I play, every character, they have a message, and it's to inspire and to help and to heal and spread love. That's it.
And the last thing I'll say on this special episode, because I'm telling you, everything that has been said, I don't always go deep, but I'm going to say this one last thing, because you talk about letting go.
Right.
And if you're listening right now, this is something you want to remember. Don't ever forget this, because I had to Google it, because she said a keyword, and sometimes you have to Google a keyword. And here's the result. Philippians 3:12. But one thing I do, forgetting those things which are behind and reaching forward to those things which are ahead.
Wow.
Let that marinate.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you may have planted seeds in bad ground. Maybe it's time for you to move and shift into another place that you were always supposed to be. It doesn't matter if it's not the hypest place.
Amen.
It doesn't matter if San Antonio don't get love like it's supposed to get. Right. Sometimes you are supposed to be planted, and like T.D. Jakes would say, bloom where you're planted. So all the people all around the world, not just San Antonio, you represent your city. You represent your city in such a way that no one else can take that from you.
Yes. So, I'm like, got my arms up like the Super Bowl. I'm like, yes, that's it. That's all I'm trying to do. That's all we can do.
That's all I gotta say. True honor having our special guest today, Devon Mathews, on I Am Refocused Radio. Like we say on every single show, keep God first, stay focused, and peace.